Good morning, everybody. How's y'all doing? This is Joe at Joe Shrimp Shack. Today we're going to have a cool little topic. It's how you can make it as a YouTuber coming from YouTubers. So I want to give you guys some tips and tricks of how to make it as a YouTuber and also how to make things a little bit better. So everybody, I've always heard is YouTubers make millions and millions of dollars. We don't make millions and millions of dollars. At least I don't make millions and millions of dollars. So we have other YouTubers that are going to come on. Some have a little bit of time. Some have a little bit more time. And they're going to tell some tips and tricks. Also, I want to let everybody know that any donations as of super chat, super stickers, I am going to match that, and I'm going to donate it to Ohio Fish Rescue. It's a great nonprofit over in Ohio. Big Rich does a lot of work. So I got a few people on our panel today. First, we have Keri from Science Gal Aquatics. How you doing this morning?
I'm great.
That's good. And then we also have, everybody's been waiting for this. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Big Rich.
How you doing?
Good.
So I hear you don't make millions on YouTube. What's up?
I don't make millions on YouTube. I wish I made millions.
That's funny.
Someday.
You get that persona thing going, and people think you do. You know, oh, you got that YouTube money coming in.
Oh no, everybody
really
always
hard earned.
Yeah, everybody always thinks that, oh, you're monetized by YouTube and you make $1 million and stuff like this because I see Mr. Beast posting that he's giving out Lamborghinis. Well, Mr. Beast is way different than
He's
me.
a beast.
He's
got like 21 million followers.
Oh my good Lord. He farts on camera and he gets 10 million views.
I tell you what, a good way to reason this out is if you're making like 3 million viewers, you're making about 80 grand a month. Okay. I'm making $2,000 a month, 2.5, 2.8, somewhere's in there, almost cover the cost of the rescue. And I'm at 145,000 viewers, you know, but I tell you what, it has made my life easier, that YouTube money, because I'm not coming out of pocket no more for it. So it's making my personal life easier, you know? Mm-hmm. So, you know, we won't get into all the details of that, but it made life so much better having the YouTube money coming in. So eventually it will cover the cost of the rescue, and then I can actually afford to hire somebody to help.
I know that'd be nice. Like for me, the YouTube money it buys me small little things, you know,
like
here
you
and
get
there.
a Snickers this week.
No, coffee. I can get coffee for my show. That's pretty much it, what I'm getting right now. So that's what I can get. But you know, nobody realizes that. Like when you first get into YouTube and you first do the videos, you're learning how to do it. And then you got certain milestones that you need to do. You know, the first thing that people want to do is I need to get 1,000 people. I want to get 1,000 people.
Right.
And now with being monetized, people don't realize that you have to have that 4,000 view hours in 1 year. That's a huge step for a YouTuber, is to get that milestone on there, because people don't realize 4,000 view hours in 1 year is a lot of content you have to put out with, you know. So if you only have 1,000, I think I based it on, if you had 2,000 subscribers, you would have to do 3 15-minute videos every single week and have 75% of your viewers view that every single time you put it out there, just to get the monetized number.
At the numbers that you're running now. But if you did one really good video and it took off, you pass that 4,000 in a day.
Definitely,
because it's the YouTube pushing you. You know, you know, I have a certain amount of people that follow us. So every video I get, you know, 12,000, 15,000 people viewing it, no matter what. But if YouTube starts pushing us because it's doing good and there's more watch time, then that thing jumps up to 150,000 followers or 150,000 views. And, you know, it's the YouTube. If you can get in that algorithm, you are golden. That's all there is to it.
And I know you mentioned the algorithm and stuff, and nobody really knows 100% what the algorithm is. Is that correct?
I've been doing this for 4 years straight, and I still don't know. So here's the reason why. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, I forgot I had to do a video tomorrow morning. I'm going to run out to the fish room. I'm going to throw it together, 12 minutes, 15 minutes of video, and I'm going to go in, hardly edit it, get it uploaded. All right, at least I got a video for tomorrow. because I learned from a couple of buddies of mine. I got big YouTuber friends. Continuity is key. Okay, so people get to know when your videos are out. So don't put one out Monday and then next week you put one out on Wednesday and next week you put one out on Friday, because they don't know when you're coming out. Continuity is the king there. But so I did this. So I've been sticking to that for the last year, and we really grew since then. Last year we were at like 40, 50,000. This year we're at 145. So I mean, we really jumped up this last year. And that would be from raw fishing. Okay, he's the one that shared that with me. Hang on, sorry.
Oh, I've learned some things too through YouTube training. I've spent a fortune on YouTube training through the years with different people. And it was a few years ago, so I don't know if the algorithm still does this, but there's points where I will notice that my channel, I'll have a couple weeks where it's like everything I put out, it's like, oh my gosh, everybody loves me.
It does slow up and speed up.
Yeah.
Speed up and slow down.
And from how I took it, how it was explained to me, it might have changed. It's been a while. Let's say YouTube is taking my channel right now, and it's kind of tying me with YouTube. Let's say this week it's going to promote my channel after Joe Shrimp Shack and Ohio Rescue and kind of see how it works. And if the people really, like your people, gravitate to me because we have similar fish, hypothetically, then it's going to like kind of run with it. Yeah. But let's say 1 week that they might tie my guppy channel to someone that is not necessarily guppies. It's not, the viewers don't click, because the point is to keep the viewers on YouTube. Right. So let's say they've watched me for a few hours and then they go to watch Joe for a couple. That the way that they tie our videos together works really well. But there's points where they're going to do another experiment, and I forget the technical name, where they'll kind of put your channel, your videos, kind of tie them with people that's like you to kind of keep that ball rolling a little bit. And that, I don't know why that blew my mind, but you can see it, you can track it. Like there's some weeks where I get a lot of subscribers and maybe they're testing me, and there's some weeks where I don't get. It's like, is anybody like, hi, I'm still here? Yeah,
there's no step-by-step instruction manual or nothing. And let me finish what I was talking about earlier. That's all right. I'll throw a video together and then I'm thinking that ain't going to do good at all. And all of a sudden it does 40,000 views. Yeah. And the video that I worked for 2 days straight on, it gets 11,000.
That's so true.
It is. And you know what? I poured my heart and soul into this thinking I did everything right. I kept it interesting. I cut out all dead spaces in between. So it's nothing but talking nonstop, information in your face, lots of information. And it did not work. It's the suggested videos through YouTube. If they're watching you, and they don't stop watching, the longer they watch you, the more they suggest your videos elsewhere into your peers groups, like you were saying, Keri. And that's when you really start getting people that aren't part of you. And here's my thing I'm going to fall to. If your thumbnail is catchy, they're going to click on it when they're suggested. And if your content is interesting, they're going to, or what do you call that? Subscribe.
It was kind of like the whole concept when they came out with shorts. Shorts came out. It was a great concept. Everybody thinks, oh, you make all these shorts. If you use their music at all, you don't get monetized on that at all. Right. So the monetization is simple. You have to have X amount of followers, and you have to have 4,000 view hours. Then you can apply to be monetized. Now, when you're monetized, everybody thinks, oh, you get all this money. You don't get all this money. It's all about how long they watch, how many clicks, how many ads, et cetera, on this, how much they work with you on there, hitting the likes, leaving comments. Now, when you do a short and you use their music, you don't get paid anything on that. You get more people viewing it. Like I had those, like when I did the Island Boy parody and stuff. Great, 8,000 views on it. Great concept. And I did look into it where it's like you do one long, at least 15 minutes, and 2 shorts, and you get more people watching these little ones. But it didn't really make a huge difference in the subscriber count. That's where it comes down to like a second hurdle that YouTubers do. So now we got monetized. Now it's small hurdles. Can I get to 3,000? Can I get to 5,000? Can I get to 10,000? Can I get to 50,000, 100,000? I want to get that button. I need 100,000 subscribers. And And these are small hurdles that us YouTubers struggle with. And I know, like, I'm considered a smaller channel. Keri's considered a smaller channel. Big Rich, he's up to Big Rich. But I'm sure he's trying to get to 1 million subscribers as well. And it's small steps that we have to set forward to ourselves. And why I formed this little panel is I wanted to kind of let the viewers know about what can help us. You like us, you love our content, you want us to put out more content. We're kind of constantly trying to change things up to achieve these small goals. And that's why everybody's like, can you do this video? Can you do this video? I can do that video for you, but I'm trying to come up with content that you're not trying to tell me to come out with. I'm trying to do content that I think that a whole view might look at. How you can help us is liking our videos, leaving comments on our videos, sharing our videos. Sharing is a big thing. And I'm sure you guys will agree with me too. If you get caught in a small circle of friends where it's always the same people that we have on our shows or same people that we're listening, you get caught on a plateau. And you're never going to get past that plateau until you step out of your comfort zone and try and do something to make yourself bigger. And that's where we ask our viewers, hey, can you share our video? Can you share the link that we have on your social media to try and get some people that you might know into this hobby and into YouTube that we could possibly start growing a little bit more? I mean, do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, no, but see, I've done extensive, studying on YouTube about this. I'm up all night long taking care of Tracy. So I'm on the computer all night long. I've looked into this, and they, from 100,000 views to 1 million to get to there, they're saying don't even actually beg for viewers to subscribe no more. Don't waste that time, and don't use an intro screen. I like an intro screen because it lets people know who you are.
Yeah.
Ohio Fish Rescue, you got that catchy little thing. I like that, but they're saying don't even do that because if you look into the analytics, and it turned out to be true, if you watch the followers that are, or the people that are viewing your thing during your little 2-minute intro screen, the viewing drops. People change channel, go watch something else. So I shortened my viewing screen up a lot for that purpose. I've so looked into this.
I'm getting my paper. I'm taking notes, buddy. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm taking notes.
And they said, stop begging for, subscribers, stop begging for likes. If people like it, like if you see a video and you're like, oh my God, dude, Joe's got to see this. I got to forward it to him or share it to him. They're going to do that on their own if your content is good. So stop begging for it, because that's, 10 seconds of video that they're not going to want to watch, that you're losing interest. And the point of a YouTube video is to keep the interest. If you can make them watch the whole video, that's amazing. It never happens. I put out a 20-minute video. You're getting 8 minutes, 10 minutes watch time before somebody changes. People are really, they're click happy and they're going off to something else more interesting. So you got to make your things interesting. Now, out of all the time, I wish I had someone like me around telling me when I started. Out of all the things I've learned in this whole YouTube thing, you know what's best? Your thumbnail. Now, you don't want to make it clickbait because that really upsets people. Now, here's two things in the clickbait thing. People will say, I'm going to leave if it's clickbait. I saw that, and that was sort of clickbait. If I catch it one more time, I'm leaving. Well, you know what? You'll lose that one viewer, that 2 viewers, whatever. You've got 10,000 viewers, and you maybe lose, let's say, 300. But that clickbait, now I don't want to condone clickbaiting, okay? But that clickbait brings in 2,000 more people. And out of them 2,000 people, you may gain 500 viewers. Well, you lost 2, but you gained 5. So clickbait is a thing. It's real, people.
Yeah.
But it does upset people. So I do my best to make my thumbnails to the point of like, holy cow, you got to see this. And then show a big fish or a bite out of a fish or something to where it's like, oh, what's going on there? I got to click that. But you have to have content behind it verifying that thumbnail. As people get mad, I don't want to upset nobody. But if you don't have a good thumbnail, no one's going to click it. So out of all the YouTubes, it's not the content. Content is secondary. It is the thumbnail is the most important thing. And I've learned this from a lot of people.
Do you also change your thumbnails over time? Let's say you had a thumbnail.
Yes, I do it all the time.
6 months.
If a video's not good, I change its thumbnail. I go back over and I've got 700 videos up, and I'm going back in the past changing them, because every residual dollar you get is more money you're getting monthly. So if your videos are making under $10 a month, go back and change the thumbnails. Go back and change the keywords. I do that all the time. I mean, it's impossible for me to change all 700 videos, but I do what I can when I can. And you know what? It keeps up the monthly income, because your newest video is the only one making money. And then your one video that took off and you got like 100,000 views, or let's say 20,000 views, that one's making you money. But all the rest are fading off as time goes by. So the longer you can go, the less they're making. Go back and make these videos you've already made work for you. Change the tag words, change the thumbnail, and they'll start making more money for you, which is coming in monthly.
Yeah, I look for the videos from the analytics that have a really high watch time, that people, when they do click it, watch the whole video, but they're not necessarily the biggest viewed videos. I start with changing the thumbnail first, because it won't change your metadata. If you change the title, the tags, and the description, it might knock you out of like a YouTube search type thing for a day or two. But definitely, that's how I look for which ones to change. It's the ones that have not necessarily the biggest click, like the total views, but the ones that do click, watch the video. So I know it's a good video, but I just need it to be more clickable, and it starts like
I wouldn't even go by that theory. I would go back and see which ones are still making money.
Well, my videos make like 2 cents.
Come on. Go to the one that makes $10 and make all the other videos like it, and then they're all making $10.
I wish.
Yeah. So like when I met Rich at Aquashella in Chicago back when they had it in George's family's convention. I can't remember what it was specifically called.
That was a great place. I think that was the best show to date I've ever been to, because that was so fun. We sat at the YouTube booth for hours. Like, what was originally asked for us was, hey, can you? I think it was a half hour. Can you sit there for a half hour twice? Rich worked the crowd all day long. When he goes to a show, he was at the show for more than just his allotted time that was supposed to be there. He was working the crowd. He'd come back barefoot and all, saying, hey, I need more autograph cards. Ran out of autograph cards. Boom, grab some more. But when he sat down at the YouTube booth for the autograph session, I sat next to him. We just started chit-chatting. He didn't know me from Grace, and I didn't know him from Grace either. That's when I started just getting into YouTube. I did everything. I did everything off Facebook before. Like everybody's like, well, how can you share 80 times in 2 minutes on Facebook? Because when I concentrated on Facebook, so I learned how to do the Facebook algorithm and how to share things. But then I started talking to Rich, and Rich and I became, friends on there. We've been on the aquarium guys. We've been on, other things together. But he's always been 100% honest with me about how a bigger YouTuber can help. And I know, like, when I was talking to him before, like a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it was, he thought I had a higher subscriber count than what I actually have. I thought he was up there where he warranted my time, and then I found out, no, he's just a little peon. So I never talked to him. I'm such a niche
shrimp. It's such a niche market and stuff. But what I try and do is I try and give like the whole experience. Like, if you came into my retail store, what are you going to expect? Are you different than YouTube, or are you the same? And I think being the same person that you are on YouTube that you are in person is a big thing.
See, dude, that is great right there. I love that, because I know so many big YouTubers that they're a persona on screen, and it's crazy the way they turn on and then they're off screen. I got too much going on in my life to remember, I got to act this way. I'm not fake. Like you, what you see is what you get. Yeah. If you don't like me, move along. You know?
And that's the thing. It's like, and then I met Keri at I do believe Aquashella Orlando.
I think
and
so.
I think it was that. I might have saw you beforehand,
It was
but not
at
really.
an Aquashella.
Yeah, it was an Aquashella. 100%, it was an Aquashella. The Aquashella is where like all the YouTubers we can kind of build our base home and like do more mingling. And so like me going to Aquashellas, it's all about meeting more of my YouTube friends and stuff and talking with them. But I learned to go over, and I'm a very blunt person. I'm up close. You either love me or you hate me or you love to hate me. But the whole thing is what you see with me is what you're going to end up getting. So when I did my videos, like how-to videos, I don't read instructions. I open up stuff and I just start trying to put it together. That's kind of what I do.
Never would have thought.
But that's kind of what everybody does. So I literally, like when I did the Kessel lighting, I called Kessel. I'm like, look, I don't read instructions. I'm going to do a live of how to hook up your lights. Is there anything I should know? Oh no, you're 100% fine. Just plug it in and you're good. Well, it wasn't so like that. So it wasn't plug and go. That's all I got to say.
Instructions are good, Joe.
Yeah. So, but I know, like, when I went down to Orlando this last time and I stayed at Will Nace's place, and I was talking to him and he's just like, thumbnails, Joe. And I talked to Tanner. Tanner's like, thumbnails, Joe. You need to work on your thumbnails.
Wait,
and I know we just
they all saying what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I
God.
downloaded this app on my phone. It's called Thumbnail Maker. There it is.
Yeah.
I got to find it here. Thumbnail Maker. I do everything off my phone. And I know I need to do more off my computer, but I'm so used to doing everything on my phone. In the past few videos, I've been using the Thumbnail Maker, and I've noticed, a higher people more like it a little bit better than doing the basic here's a picture and everything else like this, which I agree. I think the thumbnails you need to do. And I know I had a question in here from Brooklyn Bell. I'm going to time it up before I get to the next ones.
Can I say something about thumbnails?
She's very intimidated by video editing, and she's wondering if we have any advice on that topic of video editing, which is a great topic because as YouTubers, like I went down to Orlando and I did 3 days worth of video.
Keri, I found out that I lose track of all these questions and things I want to say. Right. Put your hand down, write it on a piece of paper so that when you got your time, you can come back to that without forgetting it.
Yeah, it's like 2 seconds about thumbnails, and then we'll move on because editing is very important.
I'm sorry, I'm
excited. And I'm like,
yeah. I just want to see Brooklyn Bells because I know she asked this question a while back, so I just want to at least answer her question.
Yeah. They told me to study Netflix. There's a reason why Netflix changes their thumbnails for the movies. And based on your demographic, each demographic of age is going to prefer a certain type of thumbnail. So like my main just is like 30 to 40, something like me. So we like a little bit more balanced, streamlined thumbnails. Put that question
back up there.
Yeah, and then someone that's younger likes like the busy, the arrow pointing, the point, So no, you gotta. It's more than just making a better thumbnail. There's a lot of thought that goes into that, and sometimes your thumbnails take longer than your videos. But that's all I wanted to say.
No, it's like I agree with you because I go to Netflix and I'm like, ooh, what is this that came out? And I'm like, Harry Potter 1
movie you've seen a bunch of times, and you're like, oh my god, I want to click it. Yes, they do that all the time. So
it's like,
I
get that. new
release, King Kong, 1978. It's just like, wow, you guys got me on that one.
But back to the question, editing is very intimidating.
They're not
clickbaiting. Showing what's there. Yeah. Okay,
but
so
I know
Brooklyn.
Yeah, I know Brooklyn was wondering about feels intimidated by editing.
Me too.
If we give any tips on editing.
Editing is so simple. What you want to do is make your video less boring. So the first and main simplest thing you can do, take out all things where people are like, and over here we got stop that. Put your thing up and cut that out, because you want to go and over here, click, boom, over to there. This is what we got going on here. You want to make it, constantly full of information and no dead spots, no slowness. If you can edit out that, cut it out. Even if the video goes from like me talking here, see where my face is pointing, and then all of a sudden I'm facing sideways and I'm still talking, you cut out all the silence in between, or me going, cut that stuff out. That's the very simplest editing right there. Now you've got high quality video for the rest of it. Now cut out. Here's what you got to do. You got to watch it 10, 12 times. And it sucks. I know it does. It bores me. But by the 10th time you're watching this, you're like, oh, this whole section is boring. Cut that out. To where everything is snapping at you and it's live and it's good and it's information and it's quality. Then you release it and, produce it upline and stuff. So that's my suggestion.
So
you'll
don't rush
it. Yeah, you'll never watch movies again the same the same way. Once you spend a lot of time editing, you see stuff different. But I came from when I started YouTube, I never wanted to be in group pictures. I never wanted to be in a movie. I did not know anything about anything, much less how to edit a video. So I started by doing a one take, and because I didn't know how. And then I started, like you, cutting out just the ends of the beginning of the shot in the beginning. Then I would start learning how to edit out the ums and the dead space. And now I just think of it like I'm telling a story. I have a problem. I need your help to help me fix it, and we're going to learn how to solve this problem together. So if it doesn't pertain to a problem and how to fix it, then I get rid of it. It doesn't matter. So I'm not necessarily a how-to do a lot of stuff. I just am sharing my experience in here's a story form. Here's a problem. Here's kind of like, we're going to do it together. And then the end is how we solved it. And that's, if it's not that, then I get rid of it. But it's been
100%.
a learning experience on how to edit, and it is intimidating, and that's why I still do it on my phone, because I don't know how to do it on the computer yet. But as long as you take each video and learn something, whether this video I'm going to do a transition, or this one I'm going to learn how to, then you're learning, and each video is an opportunity for a bigger audience and you to improve your skills. So that's just how I think of it.
Right. Do you know what I learned about transitions? Your programs come with, pre-filled transitions, and they're great. They're really neat. They take half your screen and pop it over, and then all of a sudden the new screen's up. That takes time. And it's boring. The people are watching this, and all of a sudden the screen's doing this. They call them quick cuts, right? Where, hey, I'm talking here now. I'm talking about this. Yep. Okay, now I'm talking about this. And there's everything cutting out. No transition. Just a cut, There's zero time right there. And when you got a transition where it fades out and it fades back in, you've got a second and a half of, boringness, which we really thought was cool when we first started doing the YouTube thing. So I'm trying to do less transitions now and kill the time in between and just go straight to the information on the next section, I'm not trying to make it look so doodaddy anymore, And I tell you what, we have grown a lot since I've learned all this kind of stuff. We've grown a lot in the last, I'd say 8 months. It's been crazy growth. We went from like 50, 60 up to 100, 145. But, all my YouTube buddies, we're talking Paul Cafaro, Zach Ketchumall, Raw Fishing, Greg Woodstock, all these guys, they're like, we want you in the $50,000 a month club. I'm like, okay, that's great. I want that too.
Me too. I want to join.
So
I can't get there for the life of me.
And I know, like on editing, it's all about knowing what you want to do the video on first. And you might have enough B-roll to do another video after that. But I know, like when I went to Aquashella, I know I wanted to do one about Will's Zoo. I didn't get a chance to do it Will's Zoo because my flight kept on getting delayed. So then it was all about the aquascape contest. So then I knew how to plan it out and what video, and I did a lot of video. I mean, I did 2 days worth of videotaping, quite a few hours, before the show, during the aquascape contest, after. I got a 6-minute video off it, because people don't realize that when you're recording, someone could walk by and say something that you just don't. I was trying to interview Lucas Bretz, and a lady came by and she was right by my microphone and she was talking. And of course I couldn't use any of that at all, and that's where it's tough. And a lot of people are like, it's this. Now, when I did my first time seeing the ocean, I knew I didn't have a lot of time from there to when I got to Aquashella. So I planned out my video to a point of, there's a lot of like me cutting off the camera because I didn't want to do a 15-minute recording and then have to go back and edit out. So I was doing smaller 1 minute here, 1 minute here, because I knew okay, perfect. I talked about this in 30 seconds. I'm good. Cut off. And that's where, like, when I did that one, all I did is I just kind of linked I stitched, they call it, stitched all the videos together to come out with that first time seeing the ocean. And that was more a personal thing for me because I've never seen the ocean in my life. And a lot of people don't realize, like, a lot of the videos that I do, it's a more personal thing for me, of almost like a diary. So,
Thank you.
Let's see here. The next question we have.
Wait. Thank you for sharing, Joe.
Thank you. I'm going to see this right now. So, Rich
like we're in a meeting.
For the first time,
Rich and I were on the aquarium guys. They're up in Minnesota here. He's going to be at the next show on Saturday with me.
Yeah, Rob's is awesome.
Rob's is cool. And I know, like, swearing. Okay, we're going to get on this little topic right now. Swearing. You shouldn't be swearing.
Do that on his show.
Yeah, you shouldn't be swearing here. But I remember a specific time we were on there and we were telling stories. And I think an Effenheimer dropped. And what happened is Rob has his duck voice, like quack, quack.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do a lot of his editing and stuff. He had someone else, Scrapjaw, was doing his editing for him. And I think we got on an Effenheimer and swear kick just to have
Nothing
fun.
but ducks.
It was like quack, quack, and a quack, quack, and quack, quack. And it was, but I understand that if we want to reach the whole aspect of all the listeners, we can't be swearing. You can't promote things.
No,
I mean, if
you got to base your channel on what you're looking for. I base mine on family friendly, so I can't be swearing. Yeah. Now, if I didn't care, look at Kush Corals. He puts up naked girls and all kinds of crazy stuff, and he's swearing up a storm. But he's a younger crowd into the saltwater, that kind of stuff.
It goes into you got to be yourself.
Yeah,
and
basically.
So you can't necessarily go at it like, I'm going to get every person in this hobby to like me. So I'm going to get the people that can learn something from me. This is who I am. Because if you're a cusser and that's who you are, you can't change yourself for YouTube either.
Oh, you can. I did. Yeah. I was a big time trucker cusser, you know, and I have stopped cussing even off screen because I couldn't.
Hey, it's been 32 minutes. I haven't cussed once. So.
I know.
Good man. But no, I had to learn to not cuss. And because before I was like, hey, how you effing doing, and now it's I lived my life, the family life, because that's what I wanted to have my channel like. And you know what? It's not a bad thing. You're stepping up and being a better person anyways, so you can have the church people around. But I have a bunch of kids around, so I can't be swearing. Yeah. So I changed my lifestyle to not swear. Now you still catch me swearing every once in a while.
So, it happens. I'm gonna be honest. I drop an Effenheimer here and there. I drop it's like it happens to me. But I know, like, when I go to shows, I'm like a giant kid. And I know, like, when there's kids who are like, Jay Oliver's like, hey man, thanks for having fun with my son and everything else. I'm a giant kid and I kind of act like a kid, but that's kind of my personality is.
Well, that's true. Fun. I've known you to be very childish the whole time I've known you. I'm kidding.
But that's how I am. So that's what it comes back down to is when your camera is on, even if you have a different persona on camera, you should always be aware of people are watching. And the thing is we're trying to grow the hobby. We're trying to get the younger crowd into it. Because if we don't get the younger crowd into this hobby, I think it's going to slowly but surely start dying out. So my motto is, like, always, if you're out in public, just always think that there's a camera on you, because you never know if there's going to be a camera on you or a camera's not going to be on you. And I've always, like, to the T, I've always said that. And that's where it's tough. And I mean, even at Aquashell, we had this incident this last time where something happened at the bar and everybody was kind of looking. And I was just like, hey, cameras are going to start getting taken out. Let's kind of just, like, stop this. So
that happened to me. I think it was Dallas Aquashell. I got a little bit too buzzed. We're doing the sticker wars. I'm putting stickers on everybody. We had a good time, but back watching, I'm like, ooh, I got to mellow. I know it's my time to get away from my normal life, and it's party time, because I don't have to watch my wife. I don't have to take care of things. I don't have nothing. You know, this is part of it, but I'm still in the public eye. I cannot get that buzz, you know, which I did. And I was slurring my words talking to strangers, but we had a good time. They had a good time, and it's all good. But I seen it to where I know to not do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Which is rough, because you got to be your own policeman, you know, in your own life. And what I want is a good family show. So to do that, I got to stop swearing. And then the Friday night videos, I allowed myself 3 drinks. You know, people ask me, how do you take care of Tracy after the Friday night videos? Because you're pretty sloshed. Well, 3 drinks, because I'm a lightweight anymore. I don't go out and drink no more. I don't do any. So every Friday night I get to hang out with my people and have a good time. And, you know, I drink the 3 drinks. But by the end of the night, I'm like, I love you. You know, the thing is as at 8 o'clock when the show stops, I have to eat something, drink water. I'm up the rest of the night taking care of Tracy. So, I mean, obligations and responsibilities, you know, so, but you can have what you want and still live the life. But I had to change my whole life to become what I want. I wanted a family friendly show. Yeah. So I had to change me to be family friendly. I wasn't very family friendly before.
Yeah, but your motivation was to better yourself. Yeah. Like I feel
better
like...
myself and, you know, do this YouTube thing to where it could maybe cover the cost of the rescue. And, you know, it's a better life to better yourself. You know, yeah, sure. We could all be, you know, whatever we want, but YouTube has made me a better person. And you know, I was awesome to begin with. I want you to know that. No, I'm kidding. Stop it. They're thinking all kinds of things to say.
Well, I thought I was a pretty big superstar in my own head before YouTube, but I was kind of a depressed, hot, lost mess. Yeah. I didn't know anything. And this YouTube really it's given me a purpose. I feel like I can get up now and I'm excited. I don't know what
get your word out. Yeah.
And it has 100% changed my life. And I don't know what possessed me to do this. I don't know what it was, because it was never in my realm of thought. But I had the flu and I'm like, I'm going to do this YouTube channel. I'm going to get this help I need with this research, and I'm going to do this. And I never do something without trying to talk myself out of it. And I did it, and I felt like it was a miracle in my life that this community came into it. And I learned YouTube's hard. Every day it's something to learn. Audio, production, editing, keeping the fish tanks alive, like learning how to film without seeing yourself in the fish tank. But it's worth it, and each time you learn something new, just go down a new rabbit hole to learn, and it helps, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and that's what I do a lot too. Is I watch a lot of videos. I watch, you know, TikTok shorts. I watch reels. I watch regular YouTube.
See, shorts, I don't understand, Joe. Shorts, how do they get so many views, and then you're not getting no customers from it? You know, you're not getting people joining you, but their shorts get so many views. I've got this whole great video, but you do a 10-second
it's
short.
A rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole. Like I'm guilty. I will sit in the morning. I get up early. I sit in and I go on TikTok, and I can find myself there for an hour watching shorts. And some of the shorts are
when you should be working, right?
I have heard though that you know how when it's like that rapid growth, like you just can't stop getting, like it's just raking up the views, and then it just stops. I have heard, I do not know if it's true, but once that short falls below 70% watch time, then it falls off that short shelf. So as long as people are watching over 70% is how I don't know if that's exactly, that's just what I was told.
The watch time is a big thing to do with it. I have a buddy named Will Star. You guys remember him from our videos? He used to come around and do videos with us and stuff, you know, on OFR. Well, he has this Bigfoot channel, and it was never nothing. He'd get like, you know, 75 views on one, you know, video, 135 on another. And then all of a sudden, you know, he's doing our videos and he's getting 2,000 and 3,000 views. Next thing you know, he puts out a Bigfoot video and it gets like 1.8 million views.
Dang.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, for the next 3-4 months, he's making $9,000 a month. You know, great. I mean, triple what we're making. And now he's gone back to where it's all gone. It's gone. It's all faded away. He's making less than what we're making. And we're over here steadily chugging along. We're still making the same thing, you know. But his video got picked up by the YouTube algorithm and got pushed out between millions of people because of his watch time of that one video. And then all these Bigfoot fanatics joined in and started watching him. Now they're kind of bored with him and they back off, you know. All anyone needs is one good video, because he went from like 4,000 subscribers to 31,000 in like 3 months.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so just one video needs to take off. That's it, and you're golden. You know.
But the thing is we're always trying to find that golden ticket, and that's the thing. Is like,
you can't.
If I hurry up and I do this video and I get this out before everybody else, and I do this really good, and then let's look at the.
You go from 100 to 3,000 views. And then someone else goes from like 10,000 to 1 million views, and you're like, "What's up?"
I know, like I did the aquascaping one. I closed my store down on a Tuesday. I spent all day long editing, and the next day I spent a half a day working on the thumbnail, because I was like kicking George Farmer's head and cutting it out and putting it on this body and stuff. And I was like, "Perfect! This is great. I love it." Posted it up there. I think I'm at like 2,500 views on it right now. But then I see people that took their time, but they have a higher subscriber count, and they know people that are higher subscriber count. Thank you, Multi-Taking Extra, for 99 cents. Went over, and all of a sudden they already surpassed me on views. And I'm like, whoa, man, I spent so much time on this. And I think it's just
don't let it dishearten you.
Keep
doing you know, eventually you'll get there. You know, you'll build as time comes, and then you'll be that person that some other person's like, "How's Joe doing this?" You know.
I want that to happen.
I would like every video. We hope that it strikes a viral, and it just takes off. But I would get myself in these depressive. I would beat myself up because I was like, I spent so much time on this.
I can't see you as depressive.
Oh my gosh, it's awful. And I would compare myself to people and be like, well, how come they got 1,000 subscribers and this and that, and I didn't? I put the work in too, and you cannot do that. You just cannot.
No.
The point. YouTube is long term. Do we all hope that we have that pop? Of course. But if you don't quit. I've seen so many people that you don't know what the potential. Yeah, it just keep going. Don't quit, because if you quit, you'll never do that.
You might have that one video.
Just keep going. And if you get 100 views on this video or 1,000 views on this video, I take it to myself, because I do beat myself, and I start getting that jealous. And I don't want to be jealous. I want you guys to be my friends. I'd rather get to know you as my friend than be like, I'm so jealous.
You know what I heard that matches to that right there? There is enough money on the internet to be made for everybody. Nobody has to be jealous of the others.
Yes.
And I got this from the big YouTubers, Paul Cafaro, Zach Ketchmall, up in the 3 millions. They're like, we don't need to, hide you. We're not scared that you'll come up and make something of yourself. There's enough money to be made. People can watch you too, So they're not. Nobody's worried about jealousy on the internet within the YouTube thing.
That comes to our next question too.
Well, wait, before you go on to that, look, Zach Ketchmall only has 3.8 million. No, I say only. But if you look in the United States, there's 3.5 billion people. He's barely touched, half of a quarter of the country. So there's plenty more to be made. So, nobody's worried about anybody else. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. So here's another question on there, because I know we're talking about, people watching and everything else. So it comes back down to collaborations. So Finn goes over and says, collaborations like this helps. I found two to three new people to subscribe from Science Gal Aquatics video about the intro to new fish and tanks, which I 100% agree. I like doing collaborations. Collaborations work because a lot of times you can utilize their listeners to help you on yours, because a lot of times it was kind of like Aquashella down in Orlando when KG Tropical was doing a live, and I walked by and I sat down on the table. I wasn't trying to
you
photo
gotta love John.
But the thing is, he's like, hey, Joe, come over here. And all of a sudden he had a bunch of people talking about shrimp, which a lot of times, like, there's more stuff in this world than this shrimp. A lot of people have fish tanks too. They have saltwater tanks. They have different hobbies, and I think collaborations work a lot. And I love working collaborations. My thing is, like, what I try and explain to people that ask personal advice is we can work on collaborations, but let's try and step out of our comfort zone. If you always have the same two people collabing with you,
right?
There's only so many circles of friends that we end up having. So you
also got to remember, when you collab, the lower guy gets the benefit. You collab with somebody with 3,000 followers and you've got 186, you're going to get more followers than he's going to get. So it's collab with people that are your peers. That you're not. I mean, reach for the stars. Collab with people with 7 million followers. Joe, grow your channel.
The worst they can say is no, as long as you ask.
Right. Well, see, I've asked like Tanner Serpa. Come on out. Blah blah blah. People would love to see your escapes here. Turn some of our tanks into some specialty thing. He's like, yeah, I'll be there. Never showed up. DIY Joey. He hates when I call him that. Youre Joey, or the king of DIY, but he's not DIY Joey. I call him DIY Joey. He's like, stop calling me that, and I might show up. So I'm like, come on down and collab. You've got 1 million. I've got 150,000. We're okay. We're both doing good for the community. A lot of people have an attitude against Joey, but you know what? I don't see it, because he is a cocky guy, and I can see how he can rub some people the wrong way. But if you get to know him, he has done more for this community than anybody else out there. People that can't afford a huge tank, he'll show you how to build it. People that can't afford a protein skimmer, he'll show you how to build it. And he's helped out us small guys left and right. And, he's done more for the community. And he don't deserve the rap he's got, but he's got an open-ended invitation to come here, and he says he'll be here. He hasn't been here yet, but this summer he says he'll be here. We're supposed to work on a couple things together, and hopefully that we'll pull that off. But Joey, I can't go to Canada because I have a felony from '88. He can come here. But, he just told me he saw my car. I posted my car on the thing today on Facebook. And he's like, I was going to drive down in my Camaro, but I can't compete with that beast you have. Now I don't know what to do. I'm not coming now. I'm like, Joey, don't be that way. I won't even pull my beast out of the garage. Just come on down. We'll talk about your Camaro, He's a funny guy.
He's always responded. He's always been extremely helpul. And
see, that's what I'm saying. People got the wrong opinion about him. He's a great guy. He has done nothing. I mean, I started out with him. He didn't like me, and that's how I met him. He didn't like me. I met him at the what was it called? The something in Florida at Rodrigo's shop, Predatory Fins.
What was that called? Monster Bash?
Monster Bash, yes. Yeah, Monster Fish Bash. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I went down there, and I'm like, Joey's there. Zach Ketchumall's over there. What's his name? The 17-year-old young kid. Paul Cafaro's over here. Then Greg Woodstock's over there. So I went by, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to introduce myself to Joey. He hasn't talked to me yet. I'm like, okay. I go up, and I'm like, hey, Joey, how you doing? He's like, I know who you are, and I know what you're doing. And he turned his back to me and walked away. I'm like, you little pissant. He comes up to here on me, I'm like, I will beat your ass, boy. And he walked away from me, and I'm like, what's up with that? Well, later on down the line, we found out that somebody had put a post up about Joey and this and that, and it said, Big Rich from Ohio Fish Rescue has bigger tanks than Joey. And I put on there, I saw that because my name was, tagged. I saw that. I'm like, I thought I did. That's all I said. But he got mad at me And, you know, we've talked all this out now, you know what I'm saying? But he thought I was dissing him and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I really wasn't, you know? So now when he talked to me, you know, we're all friends now and cool and shit. But almost swore.
Almost.
That was so crack. Thank you.
So, yeah, like I know, like on the DIY Joey and stuff, he doesn't like me at all, like 0. And that comes from an incident that happened a couple years back, and I thought we talked it out, but obviously we didn't, and he still doesn't like me. But it just comes back to I'm not here to be loved by everybody, and maybe in time he'll see that time has gone past that I did it. Huh?
I get it. You're hard to love, Joe.
I know it is, but I'll tell you this:
no, you're a great guy. Stop
my
it.
friendship, though, like I will bend over backwards for anybody. If I don't like you, there's no me like sugarcoating things. I'm just gonna say I don't like you. It is
You've been nothing but friendly and good to me.
Yeah. So and the thing is you don't have to be liked by everybody.
Keri.
Yeah.
Everybody hates me.
She doesn't like me. She beats me at shows. Like she
beats you.
But I used to work the hair show circuit, and I used to work for all those celebrity platform artists. I was a bit of a stuck-up snot.
So you did beat him. Was it because he had no hair?
I'm afraid of Keri. I mean, she may be small and everything else, but you know what? I'm going to be honest. She's got some really pointy elbows. She comes at you like, choo-choo, and it's just
I grew up in beauty pageants, talent shows, the hair cosmetology world, and I grew some thick skin.
I'll tell you what, I met Keri, and I think it was at either Dallas or Chicago, I don't know, Aquashella. And she was next to me on the YouTube page booth or whatever it was. So I come walking in, I'm like, well, I'm Big Rich, you know, I just take over and I sit where I want and I do what I want, you know. I got my cards out front, I got my pens, I'm going to sign the signatures, and I'm like, how you doing? She's like, how you doing? And I tell you what, the rest of the day she sat there and she was just such a sweetheart and a nice girl. You know, Joe, you did not, you know, describe her right, because she was a sweetheart. She was
no, she is. She does a lot of work. She took over. I think you guys are calling it YouTube, or I'm sorry,
the
Aquashella creators, correct?
I don't know about that. YouTuber booth is how I know it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna say it's called the YouTuber booth because that's what we all kind of know it as and stuff. She took it over. I know Rob was running it. I know Rob had a kid. Rob got super busy.
He's still. I call him my boss man, but he's just so busy, and I'm not so busy because, you know, I'm supposed to edit videos, but I procrastinate, and working on the creator booth is more fun. So I just took over all like the organization stuff, like the live stream kind of, and we might do something different each show, who knows, but just for organizing who's going to be there, like putting them where they're
and I appreciate it, and I 100% appreciate what you do, Keri. Like this last one in Aquashella, we had the meet and greet booth where we had all these YouTubers on this side, and then you had the other people that are maybe not A-list influencers, but we actually do still influence, and you know, we have good content, and you made us little cards, and I felt really honored for that you had us, you know, a part of it too, and I think we can work, you know, together to you know, make the Aquashella Creators Fish Tube booth even better, and that's what the big thing is about growing this hobby and making this hobby bigger and helping each other out.
Yeah.
So
I just feel
I also
like
want to
if
thank.
we work together, it's easier to bring new eyeballs to the community.
It
we
is.
just all work together.
It is.
Well, everybody
Also,
benefits from all the advertising, whether it's from Aquashella or Keri's channel or your channel or my channel. It's all going to the same place, and everybody benefits from all the advertising. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter that, you know, you're under 2,000 or you're under 800 or you're under, you know, 600 or, you know, whatever. I feel like I'm the newbie here because all my friends are all in the millions.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to get where you're going. Do you know what kind of help? Seriously, do you know what kind of help I could do if I was making, you know, $50,000 to $80,000 a month? Oh my God, I'd have hired people going all over the country rescuing fish from everywhere. I'd have dolphin products building me new tanks. I mean, that kind of money is crazy money, and I would do crazy stuff with it, you know?
I know. It was kind of like, Rich, you asked me, 4 or 5 months ago, I mean, that's when you didn't realize how many subscribers I had. You said, how do you get so many sponsors? And
no, I don't understand that. I've got 145,000 subscribers, and I have 0 sponsors. The closest I've got is Joe's Shrimp Shack said he was going to send me some shrimp and sponsor this one shrimp tank that's a hang on the wall.
I need to come out
tank.
there.
Yes, you need to come out here.
I need to come out there. And I have a lot of.
You'll put some cholo wood in there and some shrimp, and all I got to do is feed it maybe once a week. You know, that's the closest I got to a sponsor. I've talked to Hikari at the Monster Fish Bash, and they're like, well, we do have, 2-inch pellets we can give you on a discounted rate. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm putting out videos, and all of my tanks are on the videos every single day. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you want your product, your fish food sitting on top of that tank on every video that we put out? You go here, that's Hikari, that's Hikari, that's Hikari. Wow, these guys get these monster fish feeding Hikari. People will want to buy Hikari. Well, Hikari did not work with me, did not want to give us anything, and I've tried and tried and tried. I mean, I'm more than willing to work with them if they get a hold of me, but I have tried, and I have no sponsors. I have one guy sent me a net that he was our sponsor, but one net, one time, 1 year ago. Okay, it's not a sponsor.
So, like, how I got mine is back in 2017. That's where I kind of got in the. I entered my first international shrimp contest, won my category, got introduced to Chris Luca. Chris then introduced me to Manny from JBJ and says, "Hey, give him a tank, give him a soil. He's going to do a video for us." That whole time, this was a year-long process. I did this video for him because I wanted to do it. Okay, here's just not a video of me setting up a tank. This is what it looks like a month from now. This is what it looks like 6 months from now. And I've always done where, I help people out and I'll do a video for this product and this, but I never ask anything. And then all of a sudden people like manufacturers and owners of companies started noticing like, hey, Joe, he's helped us in the past. He's helped this person in the past. Let's just help him. So now, like
that's what I do. I help everybody. Why do I have no sponsors?
I want to sponsor my podcast someday. That would
so like this the Aquascape contest. I had shirts made. I had like 8 sponsors, and everybody's like, "How did you do this?" And I'm like,
"How many subscribers you got?"
Me, well, almost 4,000.
4,000 subscribers and 8 sponsors. 145,000 subscribers, 0 sponsors.
I don't know. I talk to people and I just I'm honest with them. I'm like, look, I'm looking for this. This is what I'm looking
with
for.
What they want. This is what I can give you, and this is all that matters. You need to sponsor me so I can give your customers this. You're talented at talking.
It's a gift to get the sale.
Pads and talk to sponsors.
Oh no! So I work for JBJ. I do a lot of wholesaling to fish stores for them. So I have that whole concept of I know manufacturers, I know other stores, so I can ask these stores, hey, this is what I'm looking to do and stuff, and they like it. They like their name being said. I said, look, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get your name on the back of my shirt, and when I do videos, you're gonna get linked on, hey, you sponsored this, and they're 100%. Most companies out there, all they want is just recognition. They want their name brought up. But the thing is you don't have to have all these sponsors. And I want to help Rich. Like, I'm literally trying to pimp out Rich right now and Science Gal. I'm trying to do it to everybody. Like, I literally told everybody at the beginning of the stream, and I'll say it again, any donations from super stickers, super chats, I don't care if you go on my PayPal and you donate money, I will match anything that's coming in today to Ohio Fish Rescue. It's a nonprofit. And I love working with Keri as well, and I'm going to try and help everybody out as possible. I know I'm Big Rich. I talked to Les from Cobalt, and everybody does this. Well, he's got a lot of fish, and I can do this discount here. I don't want to do that. I want to do something where it helps out more in the long-term goal.
If they help us with our fish-saving rescue mission, then their name gets, promoted big time. That's all. Like All we run is Fluval filters. Fluval should be knocking down our door. Let us give you more filters and run our, and I would show it for every tank. This is how we keep our water so clean,
You want me to talk to him? I know him.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's the thing is, but I work for a manufacturer. So when
I
you work
know.
for a manufacturer, you got kind of hooks in with everybody else and stuff. There was a question here for you, Rich, for Multi-Tank Addiction. He says, what happened to the food sponsor? I got him from Aquashella Dallas.
Obviously it fell through. I don't remember. Dallas was that was a drunken weekend.
That was.
I don't remember the sponsor that we got, but whatever had happened, it fell through, obviously, because we've got no food sponsor. We had our biggest sponsor so far has been Haley from Oddball Aquatics, got like 2,000 pounds of koi food delivered to her house, and she gave it to us. So we went down there and we picked it up. And I still have racks full of koi food for this summer. So that was our biggest thing. Now we've had people from like, I thought Greg Woodstock from Aquascape was going to sponsor us for our koi food, because every koi tank or koi pond, we'd have a big bag of food there. He didn't seem interested. And, and I know him personally, so I didn't push the fact.
Let me see if I got it.
Hang on, let me shut this phone off. So I don't know. It's
Pros' new food line from Aqua Pros, and I know he was
Legit food, yeah. I have his food over here.
He has that might
Or
be
is it-
someone.
I have his food. I have to do an order with him. I was going to carry it on my store.
wait.
But
How
I
many
wanna-
bags of that do you have? Because my tiger shovel nose that are 4 foot would
No,
swallow that bag.
I just got the nano one because that's my fish, but I know his food is really good. It's really good, and it's a relatively new food line.
Awesome.
But it's good.
Actually, I'm starting to work with Chris Biggs, you guys know him. And we're going to be making Ohio Fish Rescue monster pellets.
Oh wow!
And
That's
we're talking
exciting.
1.5 inch sinking pellet for your monster fish. So we're going to go ahead and start funding this and doing this ourselves, because I've waited for sponsors for, I've been in this for 4 years now. I'm going to go ahead and make our own food line. And, Chris is the man to talk to about it. He knows all the people and the ingredients I want in there. So, and that needs to be sinking. So we're going to go ahead and do this to where you can feed your monsters pellets, and you don't have to feed them the live or the tilapia, the shrimp, or the, what do you call them? Shiners and stuff like that, which are hard to find. It's really hard for me to find them food right now.
Well, that's more exciting than a sponsor. Your own line of food.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I mean, that's where it's tough, because like I deal with like a lot of nano stuff and shrimp, and you got big fish. So when I go up to a sponsor, I'm like, hey, can you sponsor me some food and stuff? They're like, oh, you have shrimp? Oh, it's not going to cost that much. But I know like what I've talked to people about you, Rich, and they're like, food sponsor, and they're just like instantly thinking cha-ching. But I try and reiterate to people about the whole concept of you're a multi-million-dollar company that you make a lot of food.
I'm a multi-million-dollar company?
No, not you. The people I'm talking to.
Okay.
I'm reiterating, like I'm putting like
I was scared for a second.
Yeah.
How do I live up to that?
Back at them and saying, look, he may not get you more business, but it's any say about your product is better than no say about your product.
Yeah.
And
well,
that's
believe in us too, because I'm real on the internet, I'm real on our videos, and I'm real when you meet me. So what we're doing is what you're seeing. Basically, we're an every single day soap opera. You can watch what we're doing today. It may not be about fish. It may be just building a tank for fish, but we follow along, and it's always for the betterment of the hobby, the people in it. We've given away multitudes of tanks to people that were crying and couldn't lose their fish. And, I give them a tank and let them keep their fish. If I see it as they're a darn good fish keeper, and I can give them a tank and they can keep taking care of these fish better than I can.
Yeah.
Let them have a tank, So we do nothing but goodness. So why wouldn't these people want their name associated with goodness,
100%. Someone is wondering if you're going to make the pellets in different sizes besides the big 1-inch ones.
Yeah, of course we're going to do that because not everybody has a 4-foot monster. There's 2-foot monsters. People call us and they're like, oh, I've got a monster I'd like to give to you guys and let him live out his life. Well, how big is it? Well, he's 8 inches now, but he's outgrowing my tank. I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
That's how my arowana is upstairs.
I think it would be great. Like Rich
would be.
Yeah, Rich rescues a lot of fish, and he takes down a lot of aquariums and stuff, and a lot of it he's doing it at his cost. Ideally, don't you think? If someone's got a big, let's say a 4-foot arowana, and they're just like, I just can't do this no more. It's just too big. I can get a hold of Rich. If you're donating this fish to Ohio Fish Rescue, do a cash donation too, because if you would have had that fish, you would have had to feed it this whole entire time too.
Yeah.
Nobody realizes of what it actually takes to run like Ohio Fish Rescue, for the amount of food, the electricity, just time. Time is worth money. That's the biggest thing. If you're gonna donate this fish because you can't take care of it, even if you can't take care of it because the money thing, just throw whatever you can to help him, because he's
a lot
trying
of people
to do
something. They give their tanks, they give their accessories, they do what they can.
Yeah.
And I don't ask for more than that. Thank you. And then they can come see their fish grow,
Yeah.
And which is a great thing. But I'm not pushing people, you need to drop that fish off with a donation. I'm never going to do that.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm just trying to say it's a good nature to go over and just look at it in the long run. If it normally costs you $500 a year to take care of this fish, and you can't take care of it no more, why not just drop an extra $25? It's like, hey, I can't do that much per year. It helps out a little bit.
Well, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, and we believe in our plight and what we do. And everybody else that knows us believes in it. And, everybody's like, why don't you just sell all the stuff you get donated? Sell fish, sell the tanks, and help run the rescue. Well, there's a big reason for that. Before me, there was a thing called Monster Fish Rescue. And you'd have to pay them to come and pick up your fish. And then they would put it on their page, and it would be for sale. Right? And, it was all about the money. I don't want my rescue being about the money. So it's been coming out of my pocket for like 3 years. And now we're at about $2,500 a month. But the rescue costs me about $3,200 a month. So it's less out of my pocket. It's getting to where I can relax a little. I like it, And then, we can just add on and build to the rescue and do that kind of stuff. And I don't see why any sponsor out there wouldn't want to be involved in something so good. This is just good no matter what way you look at it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing.
So I know, like, our topic was.
I'm sorry if I derailed your.
Oh, no, 100%. I did it too. I see bubbles and I'm like, ooh, bubbles. And I'm notorious for it and everything too. So we talked about thumbnails. We talked about some editing.
The most important thing, thumbnails.
Yeah. We did a lot about thumbnails. We talked about editing and having topics. We talked about collaboration. Let's talk about, the whole, not really algorithm, but the whole likes, leaving comments, sharing, that type of thing. Do we think that it helps the algorithm by
it definitely
having
does.
people leave comments, sharing?
Just engagement in general.
Yes. The more comments you leave, the more that YouTube will push this in their YouTube, what do you call that? Sharing. The more comments, the more watch time, YouTube will push it more. And that's what you want to get into. That's where the secret of the algorithm is, the YouTube pushing your video. You can look in your analytics and it'll say, so much from browser features, so much from Facebook. YouTube suggestion. That's the key right there. We're usually between 8 and 12. If I can get that up to like 50, oh my God, we would be, set real quick. So the more that you can make your videos where people watch it more, the more YouTube will suggest it. The more you got more people logging in because of your thumbnail, the more YouTube will suggest it. the longer watch time, YouTube will suggest it. And it's a a bunch of those 3 or 4 things that come in together. Ultimately, you want YouTube to push your videos to people that haven't seen it, because they're talking 8 to 9 billion videos a day. I'm only making 140 some, 5,000 subscribers, and out of that I may get 25,000 views a day. So if they could push me to their 8.9 billion people, I might jump up a couple.
Yeah, I think YouTube definitely rewards you with watch time because they want people to be on their platform all day. So
if your stuff is interesting,
if you post a video if you share your video to a Facebook group and it brings someone into a YouTube session because of your video, and they go from your video to my video to all these fish videos, and then maybe they go into something else, but you got them on YouTube all day from them clicking on your video. YouTube will like you.
Right.
It's all about a good thumbnail to bring them in.
Is them to suggest your videos.
I mean, yeah, I'm over here. I'm like, I'm jotting down notes. Like, I'm already thinking, should I change?
Grab a bigger piece of paper, Joe.
I need little post-it notes. Oh, by the way, Uline, I need some sponsorship of like post-it notes. I use tons. I'm already
right. You get sponsors.
Yeah.
Uline actually came here, and I'm like, what's really cool is I spent $300 with you. You give me a thing of post-it notes that costs like 50 cents. I use a lot of these. She goes, well, how many do you want? I'm like, I don't know. I use tons. So she gave me a whole box. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Thanks a lot. But I even wrote down, like, the secrets of YouTube, like changing the title of this because of certain key phrases. That's the biggest thing I learned, too, is keywords, key phrases, and certain hashtags. Now, the last show I went to in Orlando, someone said 3 hashtags. Find a hashtag that's relevant to what you're talking about.
Do you know
find
how
a
to put the
hashtag that is
on YouTube?
Kind of viral, and then find just another one that has to do it. I mean, what do you think about like the hashtags and
where do you put your hashtags at?
Huh?
How do you do your hashtags? Where do you put them at?
So I've kind of dabbled into putting some in my title, some in my description, and then some where we go to the YouTube.
Forget the title.
Yeah, you don't want to do the title.
You just want it in the description. But if you make the mistake, down there in all the options, that'll be like video location. Leave that blank. Because if you put location in there, I put Strongsville in there. Now it supersedes your hashtags and just put Strongsville under the video. So leave that blank.
Okay.
Now, let's say you put on
notes,
your...
guys.
Huh?
Notes. Right.
Okay, listen. So now you got your description and you're like, join our channel. Here's our membership thing. And then you've got a whole block of like, here's our YouTube, here's our TikTok, here's our this. Anywhere in there, you can put your 3 hashtags as long as they're by themselves, and they will show up under your video and you'll be good. Now I use them, but I bring the hashtags back to, I use OFR because if you hashtag OFR, you get all 700 videos, I'll do the hashtag of my newest video of what it's about, Arapaima. So then anybody searching for Arapaima will come, at least my video will show up in their search, that kind of stuff. But, you use more than 3 hashtags. I've never seen it do any better. It becomes lost in the noise.
And basically, with the titles, like a few years ago, I guess, it seemed like the titles worked a little different. You could kind of, I forget how they really load up on the keywords in your title where it was just like keyword.
Okay,
but now it seems like it's more, yes, you want to have some keywords, but you want to title it in a way that it's a natural phrase where it's not like huge guppy fit, it's just more of a more natural type.
Okay, let me show you what I learned on that. What's that phrase for to be searched on the internet? Not CEO.
SEO.
SEO. Thank you. Okay, so for the SEO, you want the perfect SEO formula is 3 keywords in your title, 3 keywords in your description, and 3 keywords in your tags.
Yes.
Now, if you've got 3 or more, would be better. But it's hard to fit 3 keywords in a title. You know, because you're trying to put a title out there of what this video is about. Like, okay, I used to use monster fish a lot. Ohio Fish Rescue was a keyword. I had that in my description and my keywords or tags. And then also Ohio Fish Rescue puts out a new monster fish. That's our second one. And a 1,000-gallon tank. And then I'd have a 1,000-gallon tank in my thing and then in my description. So there was 3 keywords. You'll get more of the internet searching. You'll be up there in the SEO, having 3 on each one of those levels.
Yeah.
I've always tried to do that as a you know, just a base rule. Sometimes I do 2. You know, I can't get it in there. That's okay. But I try and do 3, and that's I've done that forever now. And,
I try to make my title in some kind of form the first sentence of my description. So it's right there, the title with the keywords, and then the description. It's like front and center, first sentence somewhere is that a reiteration of that, and then like you said, for my tags, it's definitely in there too.
Well, I kind of do the same thing with the title. You know, let's say we go Big Rich Reaper and, you know, Hoover go on a monster fish, you know, endeavor and pick up these monsters. And then in my description, I'll be like, today, Hoover and Big Rich, and I make sure I name the same things, but I don't make it the same thing, you know, and I name them in there. But then your keywords have to be Hoover and Big Rich, and what does Hoover have to do with the Ohio Fish Rescue? So that don't work, you know. Big Rich, of course, everyone associates me. I'm sorry about my phone. I don't know where it's at.
And one thing too with titles I've learned is people don't always search for the information how I talk. So just because I think that this is a great title because I talk this way doesn't mean someone else searching for that understands my Missouri hillbilly talk. So search YouTube, but search Google for the same thing on that topic, and search Google Trends because it tells you
that'll help. Yeah,
this is how I think it should be titled, but maybe someone's talking, you know, searching that same way, but it has an A in the or an and instead of something else, and it makes a huge difference. Just sometimes one letter on a word can make it.
Well, it's kind of like
searchable.
Joe's Shrimp Shack. There's supposed to be an apostrophe S on Joe's. When you're typing though on there, you don't put apostrophes when you're typing on stuff. And I learned that very quickly of not to put that apostrophe in there because nobody looks at that when they're typing up stuff. And that makes a huge difference.
It's surprising how big of a difference. Like I was like, really, an A or an S on the end of that is going to make it like 2,000 more search, like, because it tells you on TubeBuddy, like this topic's been searched
on what?
On TubeBuddy. It's something I use for
TubeBuddy. I use TubeBuddy too.
It says like this has 7 million search terms, where this one has 500,000. So just that simple phrasing difference,
or a hyphen in between,
is a huge. It's a way different search volume.
See, I use TubeBuddy. Now I got this new one I'm using, and TubeBuddy says, do this to the title, do this to the title, and then add a hyphen in there. Okay, you were all good. Now you've got the most TubeBuddy is recommended at 79%. And I go to this other one, and it's like, oh, your title's too long. Well, come on, people. What works?
I know, and that's the thing is like I wanted to tap on is like I use. So I have TubeBuddy. So the apps. I have TubeBuddy. I have YouTube Studio on here. I have Thumbnail Maker. I have so many different things that I try and utilize. And I know I utilize TubeBuddy a lot with keeping track of how much views I get. I can add quick tags to it. But I know it can be kind of confusing when you click on a video and it starts showing, oh, you're yellow for upload high resolution thumbnails. And it goes like this. And you want to kind of make it all. And I'm like, it's really a full-time job just to do one video.
Oh, yeah. I have keywords everywhere, too. And it's not an app. It's a plugin on my browser. And when I search topics, it tells you, like, underneath the search, like, the search volume and how much it's ranked for, like, I don't know, guppies might get paid 10 cents per click, whereas fish tanks get blah, blah, blah. And it's something it's a plug-in on my, like, Google. So if I just heard guppies, it's just,
I know, like,
there's all different types of things that's helpful.
I know, like, TikTok does it. Like, if you do TikTok videos, when you do the hashtag and you start looking, it actually shows you how many videos are done with that hashtag, which is nice. But I think like on what I kind of struggle with is what kind of all around hashtag should I have? It's like on this video, you got OFR, you have Science Gal, you have, it's like certain words that I got to kind of remember where I can go back where a lot of times people just have preset ones.
You got to do OFR and then Ohio Fish Rescue and then Big Rich. I mean, you got to capture all your bases.
Oh, you have to do mullet too. You have to do mullet.
Oh, I've never done mullets.
Mullet has a lot. Mullet's making it back. That's all I got to say here.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you guys remember, I am the mullet champion of 2021. I won all across the world. I'm the best mullet, period.
I can cut a mean mullet. Man, I had a lot of people come get that haircut the last couple of years. I don't know why. It's making me
next time you're in town, you can trim my hair. All right.
The barber I go to, she says like a lot of people come in.
Your barber sucks. You have no hair.
Hey, I go and I get my head shaved every single week. It's my day away to the basically the spa. I shut my phone off and I sit there for 2 hours. She shaves my head. She does. Like I told her, I said we should do a live on Monday mornings of me just getting this whole process done. It's one of our most busiest times because we sit there and we just have fun. Like I brought a king cake. I ordered a king cake with a little baby in there, and our goal was to see who could find the baby. And one of her hair stylist, barbers, whatever, found it. But we have so much fun there, just the random stuff that comes out of our mouth that I know I should do when I get the mud mask on and everything. Like, Rich, come to Minnesota. I'll bring you up there. She'll do a mud mask on you, massage your head.
I'm not going to end up looking like you, Joe.
Bald and beautiful.
Hey, listen, how much longer is this show going to go on?
We can end it any time. I mean, we had an hour on
3 volunteers that showed up. Come on, walk in and say hi, guys. Well, not Reaper. There's our buddy Reaper.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Joe.
Hello.
And go ahead and introduce yourselves. Come on.
Ben.
Okay. And
Hi.
Jen. Ben and Jen. You guys remember them? They were volunteers.
Yep.
Reaper, he's the guy that runs out of gas all the time. So
Yep,
we've
I know
got
Reaper.
plans. We only got till 4 before my nurse leaves. So
Yeah.
I've got a million things to do. I got to get going, buddy.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you, Rich, for being on here. I want to thank you for your time, Keri. I want to thank you for your time too. If you guys ever want to do another video, I'm here for you. I want to thank all the listeners. Like I said, if there's any donations that come in, I'm going to match. Actually, what I'm going to do, Rich, I'm going to say this right now. When I get off the phone, send me a message to your PayPal. I'm going to shoot you over $250. That should help out just a little bit for you.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Wow.
the least I can do. We're good friends. I think you do a great job out there.
Joe, you don't have to pay me to be on your show, buddy.
I'm not paying you to be on the show. I think you're doing great with what you do, and I would like to help out a little bit. So
Thank you.
I'll shoot you $250. I want to thank all my listeners on there. Hey, we'll have another topic about this. I think it's a great topic. But guys, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want you guys to have a shrimptastic day.
A shrimptastic day. And stay fishy, my friends.
Stay fishy, my friends.
Keri, what's